Good morning. This is Victoria Beal with the Ohio LTAP Center, and I'm so pleased to be able to introduce my colleague Ray Brushart, who is going to be your presenter for this morning's webinar on exploring the Ohio LTAP website and learning about all of the various resources that we have available for you. We want to thank you for joining us. We weren't certain when we scheduled this webinar if people would be interested in it, but apparently there's quite a few of you that are. So we're glad to have you with us live because you'll be able to ask questions. One of the things I'd like to do to make sure you know where to ask the question is ask you in the GoToWebinar panel on your screen to please look for the question box and just drop me a hi or hello so I know you found it. I want to make certain that you know where to go to put any questions you have in there, and Ray will be stopping periodically to ask me for questions. And if he doesn't stop often enough, I will just break in and ask him questions that come in there as well. So we do have a poll we've been running this morning. I'm going to go ahead and close that out now. I'll give you a second more to vote while you're getting your last minute votes in there. I want to mention that we do have a handout in the handout section of the webinar, and I will email that out to everybody when we're finished as well. But I wanted to make certain that you knew it's there. But that's not everything that's going to be on the webinar today. That's just the teaser at the beginning to set the stage, because then Ray's going to take you on a live tour of the information. So, all right, I'm closing the poll out. I'm going to share the results. This morning with us, we have 41% of you, of those that voted from city village government. We have 13% from county engineers offices, 3% from townships, and 44% from our consultant community. So thank you for being with us. I'm going to hide that, and Ray, you can share your screen now.
All right, let's see if I can figure out how to do that. What I do
You've done that a time or two, haven't you?
How's this?
Looks great.
Does
All
that
right, it's
show my
all
screen?
yours, Ray. It sure does. All yours.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. As Victoria was saying, my name is Ray Brushart. I'm from the Ohio LTAP Center, and among other things that I do there, I'm called a safety circuit rider. And up until this year, I spent a lot of time traveling around our great state, teaching some classes all around the state for different cities, villages, county engineers' offices, townships, etc. Most of the time when I do that, I'm teaching a work zone class. And but as we found out this year that we had to offer some other way to do that, and so we've been offering a lot of webinars, and we've actually trained a whole lot more people this year with the webinars than we did with on-site training. And so when they say, what's the new normal? Maybe that's a new normal thing. Maybe we're still going to, even if we ever got back to the old ways, I'm pretty sure we're still going to offer a lot of webinars because get a lot more people involved that way. But today we're going to explore the Ohio LTAP website. And one of the reasons we're offering this is because I get a lot of phone calls and emails about from different people at different levels of government asking for information, and especially more this year than ever, it seemed like. So, but I always thought, gee, if they only knew about our website, because they could have found this information themselves. And so we thought, well, there's a lot of people out there that just don't know about our website and all the resources that are there. So this is how we're going to reach out and do our best to spread the word about our website and all the good stuff on there. I see there was something in the chat box, Victoria. What was that?
That was me
Okay.
telling everybody we're not taking questions through the raised hand.
Got
Please
it.
use the question box.
Okay. We'll try to turn the page there. Okay, there it is. So here's our learning objectives for this morning. Well, hopefully after today's session, you'll be able to, number one, know how to find the Ohio LTAP website. That's pretty key, isn't it? So But why did I even write that up there? It's because the ODOT website in general has been redesigned, and it's not as easy as you think to find our Ohio LTAP website. Even I have to go through the search box and click on a few things to actually get there. So I'm going to show you how to find the website. You also find out what LTAP stands for. Not everybody knows that it stands for Local Technical Assistance Program. And so that's what it stands for. And so you'll also be able to demonstrate to others that our website is loaded with valuable resources for local governments and other essential people and organizations. And so when I say that, I'm talking about cities, villages, county engineers' offices, townships, metropolitan and rural transportation planning organizations, consultants, and other inquiring minds that need to know. So there's always people show up in our classes that may not fit any of those listed above. Maybe they're retirees or just people that want to know stuff. So our website is open to everybody. You also realize what the mission of the Ohio LTAP Center is, and also understand how the Ohio LTAP website helps us to achieve our mission. So this is the polling question you guys answered. So I see we got lots of people from cities and villages and consultants mainly today. And this screen here gives us the website address. So if you download the handout, you'll have all this information. And so as you look at the email or the website address, you'll see that we are part of the ODOT website, and we're in the planning division, and we're in the Office of Local Programs. And so that's where the Ohio LTAP Center is housed. So I'm going to first go over what LTAP is all about and what some of our resources are, the regular resources that we've always had through the years, and then we'll go to the LTAP website and show you how we have evolved throughout the pandemic to provide even more resources. So first of all, what does LTAP do? We provide training and technical assistance to all local governments in Ohio. And last year we had over 400 training sessions, and that number seems to go up every year. And we usually provide those, of course, at central office, but also regional locations throughout Ohio, mainly at ODOT district offices. And then we have our circuit rider program where we actually go to each local government facility. And we've provided for local agency employees who manage and maintain public roadways. And so if you ever wondered how many local governments there are in Ohio, there it is on the slide. There's 247 cities, 88 counties, 684 villages, and 1,308 townships. And we have different categories for our training. We have workplace safety, highway safety, infrastructure management, and workforce development. The mission of our Ohio LTAP Center is to assist local governments in managing and maintaining a safe, cost-effective, and environmentally sound transportation system by providing training and technical assistance in the areas of safety, workforce development, infrastructure management, and organizational excellence. So that's our mission. A little bit about LTAP in general. We are actually co-funded by ODOT and the Federal Highway Administration, and we have been so since 1986. And again, we're part of ODOT's Office of Local Programs in the Planning Division. And we're also part of a nationwide network of LTAP centers and tribal technical assistance centers. So there's a LTAP in every state, including Puerto Rico, and there's 7 tribal technical assistance centers as well. So the catchy title of our webinar, part of it was how to find the many resources we have on our website. So when I say resources, what exactly am I talking about? Well, I'm going to go over some examples, and then after that we'll go on a tour of the website and show you how to find lots of resources. A lot of our resources are free. Some of the free resources are our quarterly newsletter. We used to mail that out, but now you can just find it on our website as we publish it. Plus, you should sign up. I'll show you how to sign up for our email blasts, that we call it, and where we announce that we have published our latest newsletter. Inside the newsletter, you'll see what we have available at that time for resources and any transportation or safety issues, updates, upcoming conferences and events, especially the ones that we attend with our booth, and then other LTAP training announcements. We also have some free publications, and you can view those or download them right from our website, or you can always request some of these publications. They're available to either download, but we also have some booklets. Sometimes we have CDs and DVDs that are distributed upon request. And with the website, with our online publications resource database, it provides 24/7 computer access to more than 650 items available in electronic or PDF format. So there's a few of the examples there on the right. Low-cost treatments for horizontal curve safety, that's published by FHWA. The gravel roads design and maintenance and design manuals, another good resource. There's still a lot of gravel roads in Ohio. We also have something called our Route of Navigation educational series. These are technical briefs that we publish. We call them RON updates, and they're job aids for local government employees. And there's a whole range of topics for these, and I'll be showing you those on the website. But there's examples are you can look at the ODOT purchasing guide, so you can participate in ODOT's cooperative purchasing program. Some local agencies buy their, for instance, salt and other used equipment through there. There's roadway safety topics, signage. So any roadway sign that you can imagine, we have a RON update on what the OMU TCD says about that sign. Snow and ice control, job aids, and also a section under work zone traffic control. Those are some examples of what you can find under RON updates. We also have, we used to, of course, before the pandemic, provide classroom workshops or courses, usually a one-day format at our central office and regional locations. Typically $60 per person for government employees, and a little more than that for consultants. Some courses are free if we get the grants, like a lot of our webinars, for instance, have been free because we had some grants. Some of the examples of our classroom training included work zone traffic control and safety, snow and ice control, herbicide applicator recertification, excavation safety, traffic signs and pavement markings, traffic sign retroreflectivity inspection, asphalt pavement preservation, bridge inspection, refresher training. So that's just a very short list of all the classroom trainings. Also did a lot of National Highway Institute or NHI classes, for instance. Then we had our free on-site circuit rider classes, usually about 2 to 3 hours of a basic overview of some of our day-long classes, like our work zone class, for instance. Like the full day class was about 6.5 hours for the work zone traffic control and safety, but I also would tailor a circuit rider version that was about 3 hours long for each government agency that I would go to. We also have our Road Scholar program, and so it's you're automatically enrolled in that if you complete any of our LTAP courses and specified topic categories. We have a level 1, 2, and 3 recognition, and also a safety distinction recognition that we've recently created. We've also done our part to help make our rural roads safer. And as you can see on the slide, it says fatal crashes involving roadway departure crashes, 67% occur on the rural system, and most of those are 2-lane roads. So like for instance, the picture you see could probably use some guardrail in that section with that steep drop off there on the right side of the road. We also have continuing with our making our rural roads safer. We have provided some e-learning courses called the Roadway Departure Solutions Focused Roadway Safety Training, an e-learning module series. And when I show you the website, I'll show you how to find and how to take these e-learning courses. And this is a snapshot of the one of the slides in our roadway departure countermeasures course. Some other ways how we have provided some training to make our rural roads safer. We have our tech transfer toolbox, and in that toolbox you'll see some video training of how to conduct a curve speed study. And that is the reason to do that is because if you see my mouse over here, you see a 25 mile per hour speed plaque. Well, to figure out why you need 25 versus 35, for instance, you would have to conduct a curve speed study. And we show you how to do that the proper way, and then also how to order those signs. Also how to place the chevrons and the large arrows in the curve. Some other ways is you can borrow the digital ball bank indicator from us. You need that to conduct the curve speed study. It's a device that attaches to your dashboard in your car as you drive through the curve at several different speeds. And then we also have our township roadway signage upgrade grant that we've been, I think this is our 8th year where we have a grant where we're wanting to buy all the roadway signs for each township in Ohio. And we're doing that for between 150 to 200 townships per year. And we rank them based on their crashes every year. And we send out invitations for them to participate in our grant. We also have some roadway safety tools, some apps for your phone, for instance. You can download these apps for free, the Ohio Work Zone Pocket Guide app or the Guardrail Installation Guide app. And we also, on our website, have our GIS crash analysis tool. And I'll show you how to view your agency's crash maps on our website. And when you look at your crash maps, if you see a certain roadway that's got a whole lot of crashes on it and you don't know why, then you can contact us and we will put together a rural road safety audit for that roadway. And where we get certain professionals like law enforcement and maybe your county engineer and some other people, maybe some residents on the road that they kind of know what's going on out there. And plus an engineer from ODOT, like a traffic engineer, and we go through all the crash reports that have happened and also go out there to the road and check things out. And we put together a report and we figure out what sort of countermeasures we can, low-cost countermeasures we can install on that road to lower those crashes at no cost to the agency. So those are some of our more common resources that we have, and we've got much more than that. And so we're going to take a tour of our website and show you how to find those resources and more. There's a snapshot of our LTAP homepage. And as you can see, you've got lots of things to click on. You got our YouTube channel that we've uploaded thousands of videos, training videos there. We have our Facebook page that you can go in there and like our Ohio LTAP Center Facebook page. That way you'll see whatever posts that we put on there about upcoming trainings and events. And then on the right side over here, there's lots of buttons to click on. And each one of those opens up a page that's loaded with different resources. So those buttons include Meet the Team. If you clicked on that, you would see our contact information for all 5 of us that work at LTAP, our phone numbers and email addresses, so you can contact us personally that way. We have the e-learning button. We have got the webinars button, training and assistance. If you want to ask for technical assistance of any kind, you would press that button and see what we have loaded already. But then you can ask for specific technical assistance. And then we have our training course registration. That was mainly for our in-classroom trainings. You would see all the flyers for the upcoming courses. Of course, we had the Facebook and YouTube on the home page, and we've got a button that tells about future LTAP training. That way you can plan in advance for some training that's coming up, like more than a few months away. Then programs and resources, it's really loaded with all sorts of stuff that we'll be going over. Then we have a button for click on it, you'll see all of our smartphone apps, and then we've got our newsletters, and then subscribe to our mailing list. That way, we want everybody to subscribe to our mailing list. That's really very beneficial, especially at this time, because we announce our webinars and all that stuff that way. And then there's also a direct link. The last button is a direct link to the local programs homepage. And I'll be going over that because that's where you can go to discover all the different funding sources for anything and everything that local governments can use for their roadway and other ancillary improvements along the roadway, like safe routes to school, for instance, sidewalks and things like that. So that's in a nutshell what we'll be going over as we take a look at our website. So let's go ahead and go to our website. Let me see, I got to move this thing. Let me get back to my LTAP homepage. So I click on the LTAP homepage.
You're going to notice right there if somebody's signing up for that mailing list.
All right.
That was awesome. I can't wait to see the live demo, Ray. That's what we're all waiting for.
Okay, this is it. This is the live demo. So hold on to your seats, everybody. Engage. All right, so here it is, the Ohio LTAP homepage. So just like my slide showed, it's got our YouTube channel, Facebook, and all the buttons over here to click on. So let's say, for instance, you like I've gotten a lot of phone calls this year about, it's too bad that I can't come and teach the work zone class, but they really want to know how to flag traffic. Okay, well, we've got at least 4 resources on our website, 4 different places to go to find out all there is to know about flagging. And that's just one example. But if you click on our YouTube channel, let's see what happens. My home Wi-Fi is not the fastest in the world, by the way. Okay, so here's our Ohio LTAP YouTube channel. And so probably the first thing you want to do is click on playlists right here in the middle of the page. If you click on playlists, then it breaks down all of our videos into different categories. And so if you scroll down, you'll see all the different categories we have, from safety, traffic, webinars, real estate academy under the acquisition, gravel roads, maintenance and design, for instance. And then we have an entire channel here based on work zone traffic control, maintenance and construction, you name it, there's a channel. But if you can't find it, here it is, maintenance best practices. I got to click on that because it's got a lot of some of the training videos that we use right here at LTAP for our own maintenance people. So there's if you take care of 2-lane rural roads, you're really going to like all of these. You got one over here called best practices on how to berm your roadways so you can provide good drainage off the road, crack filling, culvert replacement, spray injection patching, and snow and ice control, the winter formula. Those are all very good videos. So if you're a boots on the ground person that works for a local government, you should be watching these videos. So that's a good example, but if you can't find what you're looking for, we have a search box at the top, so I can type in flagging, and then, like I said, there's an LTAP in every state, but it turns out Virginia has the latest flagging videos. So VDOT is what Virginia Department of Transportation is. So this one right here, the VDOT flagger training, is the video that I show in a lot of my classes. So that's one way to find a flagging, but lots and lots of training videos on our LTAP, website in the YouTube channel. So if you're having a rainy day and you can't work outside, bring in the crew and turn on our LTAP YouTube channel, get some good training that day. So that's an example of our YouTube channel. The Meet the Team button, here we go. So you can click on that and you'll see we actually have a new person in our office, Paula Hyman. We need to update that with her information. And when you do that, please change my picture. It's got to be the worst picture of me I've ever had in my life.
Oh, Ray. I tell you what,
Sorry.
I'm to the point where Paula can just send us a picture and we'll put it up because we had her scheduled to get the picture taken right when the pandemic hit. So you
Okay.
send me a new picture and we'll get that updated too, Ray.
All right. Then we have our e-learning. So during the pandemic, we've gotten a lot of traffic
Wait,
on
Ray,
our
we have a
e-learning
question.
page. All right.
It says, how do I see the list of videos under a topic? When I click, it takes me directly to one of the videos.
Well, did you click on playlists? Okay, let me see. Let me go back. That is a good question. If I click on playlists, under each one it says view full playlists. You have to go to this page, okay? Does that actually work? I'll click on
I
one.
think, how about
Yeah,
the playlists
yeah,
are a
there it
great
is.
way, but not everything gets into a playlist. So how about if you click on videos? What does that give us?
There, I clicked on videos. I've never done it that way, but
Well, hopefully your internet catches up here in a second. Is that the Pike
at
County
least when you
Pony
click on
Express
playlists,
internet?
it breaks it down into different categories. So that's why I do
Yeah.
it that way.
Well, here you go. This videos gives you everything that we've uploaded. And you'll even see, like last week, we hosted the National LTAP conference for all the LTAP centers, and the links to those videos are in there. But this is giving you a list of everything that we've uploaded. So, all right.
All
Thanks, Ray.
right. Mm-hmm. Now when we go to the e-learning button, is it already getting to be 10:30? How did that happen? Um, First of all, when you click on e-learning, the e-learning button, it's important that you, right here at the top, it says new exclamation point. Click here to view a PDF catalog of all available e-learning courses and their description. So that's important. Then we have a list of some of the ones that we have more recently uploaded from, here's my favorite, Unmanned Aircraft Systems Awareness Course for drones. See, we're keeping up with the Jetsons here at Ohio LTAP. So then the Active Transportation Academy, Adult School Crossing Guard Training, environmental, ODOT has our own environmental services um, office, and lots and lots of training needed to keep up with all of their information. So it's all under there. Road diets, and of course anything from oh, here's a good one down here, the SciCop Winter Maintenance Series. So if you're in charge of the crews that do the snow plowing, they really should watch that entire winter maintenance series. But all kinds of e-learning on here. So you download the catalog, pick your subject, and then see what we have under that. And then the webinars button. this is what's pretty much replaced our classroom training during the pandemic. So we've had lots and lots of webinars, and just to give you a taste of how many people have taken our webinars, um, all of last year in 2019, we trained over 23,000 participants in our um, with our classroom style trainings. And then just between January and the end of July, for instance, of this year, we had 21,800 people attend our webinars. And so we've
Hold
almost,
on, Ray. It was more
okay,
like 10,000 people that have attended the webinars because
what was the
9,000,
21,800?
that's everybody combined.
Okay, everybody combined. So when you say combined, that's webinars and
E-learning
so
in person.
e-learning
Yep.
and okay. Yeah, because we
Yep.
still had some in person in January, February, and first couple weeks of March.
Yep. So, and while you're on this screen, I just want to point out to everybody that we are trying to branch out a little bit this month. We had the opportunity through a federal grant through the American Road and Transportation Builders Association to provide different webinars, and one of them is fall protection, and we're doing it both in English and in Spanish. So if you have crews or folks out there who are primarily Spanish speakers, that would be a great webinar for them. Thanks, Ray.
You're welcome. So on our webinars page here, you'll see that we have both upcoming webinars and how to sign up for them. You just click on the flyer, and then also our archive. So those are the ones that we've had in the past and loaded on here. As you can see, it's quite an extensive list. And like I said, down here at the subscribe to mailing list, if you subscribe, then you'll definitely, that's probably our primary way of getting the word out there about our upcoming webinars. But you can always check in here on the website as well. So future, oh wait, then we have our training and assistance page. So there's different things to click on this page. There's the technical assistance link here. You'll notice that on our website, there's more than one place to find things like training course registrations on this page here, but we also have our own button over here. And down there's another link to our YouTube channel. There's another link to eLearning and so forth, Active Transportation Academy. But here's our technical assistance page. And in this, we have our road safety, things that we've put together just because the demand was so high, like road safety audit toolbox, ADA transition plan resources for local agencies. So I know there's a lot of people here from cities and villages. And so if you don't think you're compliant or you question that, you can always click on our ADA transition plan resources. There's a template on there to help walk you through that process. And if you have any questions about that, give us a call. How to perform a curb speed study. You get to see me in action if you click on that. We've got, again, we put this all together because of our township sign grant. And so that all the townships needed to know, what is the advisory speed for all their curves. And so, these, we had to make this into 3 videos because with YouTube, it can only be so long. So you have to go 1, 2, 3, watch all 3 videos. So again, how to do the study and fill out the paperwork, and then how to order the signs. And then down here is all the forms you need to do the study. That's an example of our some of the resources for different things. Implementing a traffic sign retro reflectivity, another direct link to our online publications resource database, archive course materials. But again, if specific questions that you have or requests for technical assistance, you would click the Meet the Team button and then give any of us a call, and then we'll talk about your specific need for technical assistance. And then, of course, the next button down is our training course registration. This was how you would check out the flyers for our classroom trainings. But here's a good one: the GCAT computer training. This is a new one, Victoria, I think. This was
Actually, Ray,
what
that
was it?
was one that we had out there, and we're more than likely going to end up canceling it. But
Okay,
there's lots of GCAT webinars.
right. So we've converted this training to a webinar. So you need to. Is that something that's announced? Do we have any? Let me check under. So if we click on webinars.
We'll have another one next month. We've been doing the GCAT webinars
Okay.
every other month because we don't want to overload people with the same topic like month after month.
Okay.
And it also gives the GCAT folks time to collect additional questions.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to address different items and every time they do a GCAT webinar. Another thing, we got a question in the question box. Someone wanted to
Okay.
know, can archived webinars be counted towards Rhodes Scholar credit? There's only certain webinars that will count towards Rhodes Scholar credit, and it's usually the ones that are a series. Like this week and next week, we're offering a series of tort liability webinars. You'll just have to look at the flyer, but if you miss one of those, email me and let me know. We have found that there's a way for us to do replays of webinars. And like this week, later in the day, we're doing an ITS replay. And if individuals participate in all three of those sessions, then we're able to go ahead and give them credit. So even if you missed the live version, we could potentially set up a replay for you, and then you could do the replay and still get the credit. So we're trying to be as flexible as possible. We know everybody's got crazy schedules right now.
Right. Okay, so this would be the page when we begin offering classroom sessions again, where you would find the latest um, information for the different classes. Then we have our future LTAP training page. This is where we upload when we know we're going to be offering some training, but it's out more than a few months. We'll post it on here. So like fall 2020, this was some of the stuff that we had listed on here. Of course, these were all classrooms. So
Yeah, I think people are kind of probably tired of hearing about when we get back to normal, but that's what this is intended for when we get back to normal. It was a request actually from the County Engineers Association, from their members. They wanted us to tell them what we had coming up, possibly a year out, so they could use that information for budgeting purposes. So if there was a class they wanted a bunch of their folks to go to, they know to put money in the budget for that. So just keep checking it. We do update it periodically, and hopefully once we get a vaccine or a cure, you'll be able to look on here and see what classes will be held in person moving forward.
they reference on here to visit the webinars page and eLearning page. So then we have our resources and programs page. And so lots of stuff on here. A 2020 video lending library catalog, a page that's all about local road safety. It says federal FHWA partners with Ohio to provide resources for local elected officials and local agency practitioners to support and encourage road safety programs at the local level. So there's information on here. Maybe you want to share with your county commissioners, for instance, or your mayor. Frequently asked questions. Some information from the Everyday Counts initiative on value engineering. We have our OREAL program. And I definitely want to talk about that a little bit. The Ohio Research Initiative for Locals. And so ORIL provides support for local agencies to address problems specific to the local roadway system. And so if you click on this, you'll see some of the things that they've been working on um, for quite a while. One of the ones I wanted to share was in 2018, they came up with the final report, which is now available for best practices for chip sealing low volume roads in Ohio. And so I know a lot of rural agencies, they do a lot of chip sealing, but the problem was a lot of the roads, they didn't turn out in the best shape. They had either too much gravel or they didn't use washed gravel, so that um, the the tar or liquid asphalt would stick to the gravel. So they had too much gravel or not enough gravel, which it means there'd be oil all over or tar all over people's cars after it was done. But so they came up with they studied a full year on this, and so you can click on this and make sure that like townships and county engineers offices are, if their own crews are doing it, make sure you're following these, or you can even uh, give this to your contractors. Make sure that they're, when they put their bids in, that they're including everything as far as the best practices go. But all sorts of information on what they have been researching. There's also right now, Victoria, I think I saw an email from Mike Fitch about people can actually give them ideas for research at this point in time. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I know Mike will send that announcement out again before the end of the application period, but yesterday it just opened up. And if you have ideas about potential research projects that apply to the local roads, this is where you can submit those ideas. There's also a discussion board on the ORAL site where you can, if it's not the open application period, you can still put your ideas on there. And I'll send a link to that in the follow-up email that I send out from this webinar to make sure everybody has links to both the place where you would put in current ideas to be considered and then the future discussion board. That right there, it says ORAL idea discussion site.
Yeah, it's right here. Okay. So some other resources, and I've mentioned the, of course, we have our Build a Better Mousetrap competition, which was the winner this year was from Violet Township in Fairfield County, and they submitted um, how they were able to put some beams attached to a like a bobcat, and the idea was to push the salt up further up into their salt barn safely, and so they got more storage. And there was actually I know even ODOT guys told me that it was a really good idea because they've seen bobcats try to climb a salt pile and actually roll over. So this prevents that from happening. So we sent there when you win the Ohio competition, then you get we send um, your entry into the national LTAP Build a Better Mousetrap competition. Okay, so then we have our Route of Navigation RON series. I mentioned this earlier. So this is one of our best resources. So it's a series of job aids for Ohio-focused um, professionals, roadway professionals. Let's see what we get when we click on this. And so as you can see, we got a whole lot of different categories, from access management to ADA compliance. So if you're at the city, work for a city, if you click on this category, you'll see these. It's a drop-down list that contains a matrix of ADA requirements for public agencies, an ADA transition plan template, and some guidance on how do we define the number of employees at our agency, for instance. That's one of the things that you have to do as part of that. Continuing professional development, like for instance, ethics training is kind of a new thing for PEs and professional surveyors. Um, we always get questions, do we provide equipment training? We used to have hands-on equipment training, but we don't anymore. But here's some basic heavy equipment safety pre-operation checklists. What else do we have? We have information from the Everyday Counts initiative, like the safety edge. We're trying to make the safety edge a standard for 2-lane rural roads. If you want to know what that is, you can click on this, and it gives you the latest information about the safety edge and how it creates. It's a device that you attach to the paver. It creates a 30-degree angle on the side of on the edge of the pavement, so that people when their front tire drops off the edge of the pavement, they can get back up safely instead of overcorrecting and getting into a crash. There's also and there was an initiative on warm mix asphalt and accelerated bridge construction. That's just a few of the initiatives under Everyday Counts. We're going to continue to add to that list. Funding. I know at the local level, there's always questions about funding, and you can read this for some information, but then I'm also going to show you how to get to the Office of Local Programs with a lot more information there.
Hey, Ray, you got 13 minutes left.
Okay. Then we have, so there's all sorts of information on here. If you could just go through that, this is a step, for instance, that could be listed under the Everyday Counts. But safe transportation for every pedestrian. So a lot of pedestrian safety improvements there. Snow and ice. If you click on signage, every sign you can think of, there's information on here and what the OMU TCD says about it and how to install it and all that stuff. Snow and ice. Always have resources on snow and ice control. Work zone safety. If you click on it, you see we got information here. Here's another one about how to flag properly, designing your flagging operation. So it gives examples between 55 mile per hour and 35 mile per hour, what that does to the design of your flagging operation. For instance, how to make it as safe as possible. Mobile operations on 2-lane roads, for instance, is very good information there. And then other like soft skills we have under workforce development, like time management, working with other generations. What else? How to develop exceptional customer service skills. So these are lots and lots of topics for the job aids under resources and programs, or RON updates. And then we have our different smartphone apps. If you click on smartphone apps, we have our roadside safety field guide, our traffic sign installation app that we developed specifically for the townships that applied for our sign grant to make sure that they knew how to install signs properly that they got. Our guidelines for traffic control and work zones. It's an app, so your workers would have the app right on their phone, so they knew they could look at things like how to set up your flagging operation, for instance, how far apart to put the signs and how long of a cone taper. All that information is in there. Then we have our newsletters. We always have a long list of our current newsletter and previous newsletters with all very good information on there. Again, subscribing to our mailing list, so important these days. So if you just click on that, give us your email address and your name, and click on the box that says you agree to receive emails. And, sign yourself up and everybody else in your office, your division, your agency. Then we have our local programs homepage. So this is the page we go to So you can look at, like, for instance, all the different funding sources. And so to do that, down here are the three main things. You got your local LET process. So it says how local government interacts with ODOT to ensure transportation projects are properly funded and the transportation processes comply with federal and state laws. So that click on that, read all about that, and then you have how the local program staff assists local government staff in procuring federal funding available to applicable projects. What makes your project applicable and how you go about getting those funds starts here. So if you clicked on local funding opportunities, it takes you to this page, and the first thing you see is the 2020 ODOT program resource guide. So that resource guide lists every funding resource that is available to you as a local government. So some of them are, take a look here. We got the small city program. So this provides federal funds to small cities not located within a metropolitan planning organization's boundaries. There's several different resources for bridges. There's municipal bridge, local major bridge, Ohio Bridge Partnership, and I think there's another one with the CEAO.
Tell you, Ray, my
There's
favorite, I mean, I love our township sign grant program, but I think one of the ones that provides the most flexibility is the transportation alternatives program, because
Yeah,
it covers both, bicycle and pedestrian facilities and even historical transportation like buildings.
yeah, that's Jeff Shaner definitely stays very busy every year, uh, going through lots of. I don't think he rarely has any money left over at the end of the year. So it is important that you know about it, how to apply for it. There's deadlines involved, of course, with any funding resource. So it's another reason to click on these and familiarize yourself with your funding opportunities at the local level. One of the every other year we have a Show Me the Money workshop, and we talk about each one of these funding sources, and you would actually hear from that funding sources administrator. That's another way. But then we have our the township sign grant information would be listed. Let's see, where would that be listed, Victoria?
It's under safety, but we're kind of,
Okay,
through the application period this year. So,
right.
which if,
But
one thing
if you're
folks might be interested in is the local LEP processes because there's the information on the training on how to actually administer projects over there.
all right, let's click on local LEP processes here on the left. So what's this say? It says there are more local transportation projects than there is federal funding to finance them. Meanwhile, sidewalks need repaired, turning lanes need paved, and bridges need maintained. Most of this work occurs at the local level with the authority and approval of the federal government via the state government. And so go on and
So if people want to see what projects have been funded, it's over on the right-hand side under those years.
and then they have the current LPA projects requesting
Mhm.
bids. So if you're a consultant, that might be interesting to you.
Yep. Seems to me like there was something, if you scroll up a little bit, I thought there
Okay,
was oh, hold on, now scroll down. You went too quick.
did I?
Yeah,
You want
sorry.
this page?
Um,
Right, this one?
actually, I'm gonna pull up the website on my own PC here and tell you where I want to go. So go to local LEP processes and then scroll down. Yeah, there you go, that table at the bottom.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, what this table explains is the entire local LEP manual. So if you would love to see your agency apply for funding, this will tell you what you need to do once you get the funding to actually complete your project and to, adhere to the federal guidelines. But instead of sitting down and reading the whole manual, I think the funner way to do it is to go to LPA training at the bottom left there. And when you
Down
click
here in the
on
bottom
that,
corner.
yeah, it'll take you
Right
to
here.
the page that gives you information about all of the modules that are available. And that top link where it says Ohio LPA qualification fact sheet, that kind of spells out the process to complete the modules. And it gives you what the modules are and how to do those. So, you know, if it was me and I wanted to talk somebody in my agency into applying for the funding, I'd go take these modules first and understand what it is I was asking them to do. So then I'd know how to sell them on it. Just my 2
Right.
cents.
One of the things says each local public agency has a person in responsible charge.
Yep. You
So
gotta have
ask
somebody who
yourself
can answer
if you know that
questions.
person. Do you know that person at your agency? Who is that?
Well, I think they designate it by project, Ray.
Okay.
So sorry to interrupt. I'll
Uh,
let you go back to what you were doing.
that,
And you've got
that
4
was not
minutes
an
left.
interruption. That was a very big help. Thank you. You know, a lot of engineers are very good at engineering, but when it comes to funding, that's a whole other language to speak.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you know, we have a couple of questions in the question box. Let me give you
all right,
those
let's hear
since
them.
we're
Yeah.
getting close to the end. It says, um, one question, if people reach out for assistance on this, what happens? And I'm guessing this means um, the, let's see,
Technical assistance.
local funding opportunities.
Okay.
You get more help than what you can imagine because we will work to put you in touch with the funding managers and get you all the information you need to your questions. You know, and does a staff person from LTAP work with the local to provide technical assistance to fill out the application? On our part, on the LTAP side, we get you to the people who are in charge of the programs, but we do have excellent staff members, not only in the Office of Local Programs, but there's a manager in every single district who manages the local LET program. So those LPA managers will actually assist the locals with the process. So, and I'm going to put my boss on the spot here because I happen to see her in the audience. I'm going to make her a panelist real quick so she can unmute
Okay.
herself and maybe she can add a little bit more to that. So Andrea, you are now a panelist. If you can unmute, maybe you can answer those questions a little bit more about how the districts work with the locals.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yes.
All right, great. Okay, well, good morning, everybody, and thanks for the opportunity to answer some spontaneous questions here. We have a great team with LTAP and our local programs section in our office. And in addition to that, we have an LPA manager in each of our 12 districts, and they can help provide that grassroots support that provides the funding knowledge and the dates, the times, and the funding cycles that each local is eligible for. Each funding program has criteria and a policy, and it's based on different eligibility criteria. And so you may be eligible for a couple of the programs, but maybe not all of them. And so there's great opportunities out there to really get some transportation funding if you need that. We know a lot of locals do. And we have funding opportunities where you might get funded at 95% and the rest may be paid by total revenue credits. And there's a lot of opportunities out there, but the LPA managers in the districts are your first point of contact for getting educated or getting updated on what's changed at the department. And some of these materials, for example, if you're interested in a program guide, we can get some of those in the mail to you and ensure that you have the information you need to apply for our programs and get your projects underway for the citizens of your communities.
Thanks, Andrea. And Ray, can you scroll up real quick? I want to take folks in the last minute we have here to the list of where those LPA managers are. If you click on home, they're in that little list of blue words.
Yeah.
And then actually just click on contacts. They're at the far end of
contacts.
Yep. Click on contacts. As soon
Hey,
as
look,
that
there I
loads up, yeah, how about that? Now scroll up
am.
because there's
District
going to
LPA
click
managers.
on that. That's where folks want to go to get the list of who is your district LPA manager to reach out to. So with that, it's 11 o'clock. Ray and Andrea, is there anything else you guys want to add?
I really wanted to do that last polling question as a quiz.
Oh, well, we can do it real quick. Hopefully folks will hang on for one more second. Let me put it up. Where would I find info on how to flag traffic properly? Well, you can't really check all that apply. You have to just choose one.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's the way I set it up. So. All right, people are getting it.
Okay.
And I'll give you a hint. I think Ray was trying to get to the fact that there's more than one place to find this information. So
Yes,
you can
there
always
is.
change your vote if you want to, but we're not recording how you vote. So. All right, we've had lots of folks that voted. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And I'm going to share the results. 43% of them got the correct answer of all of the above.
That's right. Every one
Yes,
of those, all four of those places, you can find information on how to flag traffic properly.
so with that, thank you so much for everyone
Wait,
joining
I
us
think there's
this
a
morning.
question.
Oh, hey, can you show how to get to that district LPA list again?
All right, we'll do
Sure,
that.
let me hide the results from the, there you go.
Okay, so you go to the Division of Planning Local Programs page. Then you click what? Local funding opportunities?
No, click contacts to the right.
Oh, it's at the top. That's right.
Yep.
See this bar across the top? At the far right, it says contacts. And then when you get to that page, over here on the right,
Under,
it says
yeah.
District LPA Manager.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hidden personally,
Click
but
on that.
yeah.
And it's right there.
Yep. And that's who you
Good
start
question.
with.
Is there another
Excellent
question? I
question.
see it flashing.
No, what I see is a comment from our colleague in West Virginia, LTAP, saying that she would like to powwow with you and I later about the resources on our site. So
All
that's
right.
awesome. We'll be happy to do that, Kim. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being on the webinar. Anything else, Ray or Andrea, you'd like to add? No? Okay.
I think
Okay.
that's it.
I saw Andrea unmuted.
I was just going to thank everybody for participating and to have a great day.
Thanks. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. And I'll send out a link to the recording as long as it converts successfully. Have a good day and feel free to contact Ray or myself or Andrea with any additional questions you have. We are here to help you. Take care.
All right. Goodbye, everybody, and thank you for attending.